speak to you for about an hour. Come in, that's okay. About an hour. And please, guys, as we go through, please put your hand up and ask me some questions. Yeah? So you have some note paper, make some notes. If you don't want to interrupt, write a question down and ask me at the end. What is a personal statement? I'm going to look at these three areas and go through them and look at some things which could be and should be useful for you to write a personal statement. If you have already done it, don't think, I didn't need to do that, because some of the principles that I will talk about are useful for your writing. And come in. And even if you think, I know this already, you're here, it means that you're keen, it means you want to go to England or America or Canada, and when you are there, there will be many people like me who will talk to you. And maybe they will talk to you in a different way to your teachers now in Kazakhstan, in Astana. So if the only thing you gain from today is the experience of listening and of becoming used to a crazy foreigner like me speaking to you, then that's also good. And just to say again, please interrupt and ask questions, please. Intelligent people ask questions. Now they know that from your school results. But universities like Newcastle see thousands of students who want to attend, and maybe on the course there are only 50 positions. And everybody, like you, has very good school qualifications. So you have to prove to them that you have this and a little bit more. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. One of those things is why the university should choose you. So as I said, universities use personal statements in support of your application. Sometimes, well, when I was a student like you years ago, I went to university for an interview. I sent my application and I had an interview. That's okay. It would be unusual for you to be interviewed, but you would have to speak to, you can see the first bullet point, why the course. Why do you want to study business and management? Why do you want to study social sciences? Why are you interested in this topic? Hey, guys, by the way, if you write your email addresses down on the list that's going around, and I'll get a copy of it, I will send you this presentation if you want it. So if you let me know that you want it, by putting your email address, I will send you this. But if you want to take a photograph of this, that's fine. No problem. If you want to make notes about that, that's also great. Okay, so why the course? So what skills do you have and what achievements have you had in your 17 years or 18 years or 19 years? What are your interests? What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? Sport, photography, music, and so on. Maybe you have worked as in a part-time job. So, and that's legitimate.
Like, I would like to be successful in my
Exactly. So I would like to be successful in my challenging career. And that well, English language is very indirect. Perhaps, Paulina will correct me now, perhaps Russian is more direct. But and I can tell you, I told you my wife, didn't I, is a Russian speaker. She's very direct. Very direct. And English is often very indirect. And if you wrote, I'm interested in being very successful in my chosen field and it being challenging, then when I read that, I would say, very good English. This lady wants to get a lot of money. Yeah. Well, Newcastle University is in the top 20 universities in the UK, in the top 1% in the world. So if you have a degree from Newcastle and you write it on your CV, everybody in the world will say Newcastle, England. Perhaps if you put Osh University from Kyrgyzstan, people will say, what? So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
So in school, you're probably specializing in arts studies of your degree based upon your team performance, your individual performance within the team. And actually, I think it's a really good way to study and a really good way to learn, because when you finish university and you start to work, very few people work alone. Very few people work in isolation. When we work in a group or a team. A small team, maybe a big team. So at university, we practice that. And you will get many team activities. And you should demonstrate in your personal statement that you have some team skills. Now they may come, you may be in the school orchestra. You may be the lead violinist. And that could demonstrate your team skills, if you're in an orchestra, and your leadership qualities, if you are the lead violinist. You could be in a football team or an ice hockey team. And the same applies. Okay. So the last thing I talked about there was examples. So always when we write, we should say something and then give some evidence, give some examples. And later I'll show you how you may word that, how you may phrase that. So what I've been talking about are transferable skills. Skills which transfer from the music orchestra to the classroom. And there are some other transferable skills too. Okay. Time management. So today we were due to start at, I think, 11 o'clock, and some of you were very early, some of you were a little bit later, and that's cool. It's Saturday, school's finished, you want to relax. But time management is a really important aspect of studying. And it's really important because when you're a student, you may have 1, 2, 3, 4 essays to write. And you may have to submit them in 3 weeks' time, in 4 weeks' time, in 5 weeks' time, and in 6 weeks' time. It's actually like a juggler. Do you know what juggling is?
Yes.
When you have 4 balls, and you have to throw them in the air, keep your eyes on all of them. And you have to practice to be a good juggler. And of course, you have to practice to be a good time manager. And it's a fundamental skill. At INTO, Medina, we have a policy that if you're late, you don't come into the classroom. I have one student, Hussein, he's from Bahrain. He's absolutely brilliant. The English is fantastic. He produces written work, which is fantastic, but he's always late. So I rarely see him. He comes to the door, knocks on the door, at 2 seconds past the start time, I say, Niet. And actually, I'm not sure if I have the right policy. So, tell your teacher, tell your friends. Okay, let me tell you a little anecdote. About 6 years ago, I had a very nice student she was from Beijing, in China. She had studied so it's the Universities and Colleges Application System. So if you want to go to a British university, you have to complete a UCAS form, and on that application, you have to include a personal statement, which is what we're talking about. And just for those people who want to go to France or America, okay, the systems there are different, but almost certainly you will need to write about yourself, and almost certainly some of the principles we're talking about here will be applicable. And here, the main principle is about this, extracurricular activities. And the earlier point, as you've seen, this is Prezi. Who uses Prezi here? Hey, cool. Maybe you'll have to give me some help. So you four, I want you to get together afterwards and give me a presentation about how to use Prezi. Yoshichi. Okay, but Prezi is really interesting, isn't it? PowerPoint sometimes is a bit boring. Okay, so your achievements. Oh, I have no achievements. I'm really boring. Come in. That's okay. Again, it's not true. You have done many things in your life. What are you proud of? Have you helped your grandmother to learn how to use sports? Sports is my favorite. Maybe you've done some academic competitions, debating. Maybe you're on the school debating team. Maybe you're on the school chess team. I'm not sure if chess is a sport or academic. Maybe halfway between. I love sport. I take my son to play sport. His mother likes music and chess. So she wants him to learn to play the cello. I want him to play rugby. Guess who wins? Of course. Of course. Okay, so this is a thing which is specific to England, the Duke of Edinburgh Award. It's an award where young people like yourselves do activities. They may be outdoor activities, like walking 50 miles into the Kazakh desert and sleeping outside overnight and then navigating their way back. It could also include doing volunteer work, like helping a group of old age pensioners learn to use the computer. It may be charity work, helping charitable organizations who research into cancer. And I'm sure you have been dedicated, you have practiced and practiced, and you have this great achievement. You can play the piano at grade 4 or grade 8. Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, should we support our statements with some certification?
With some?
For example, academic awards. So they give us some certification that we won the first place and so on. But some charity works. Maybe we have no certificates.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, that's a good question. So you do need to show evidence, but of course you don't need to lie, but the university will not ask you to prove it. So if you say you entered a school debating competition and your school were placed first out of 15 schools in Central Asia, then that's great. You don't need a certificate. If you say that you worked in a charity, you won't need to have a letter from the charity. You don't need it. Just say you worked in a cancer research charity, raising funds. In the year 2016, you were responsible for raising $1,000 for the charity. Studies. And what skills may computer gaming demonstrate? I'm not sure about that. Okay, I'm joking. Of course, it shows your computer skills. It may show your ability to talk to people in other countries. It may show your dedication. I think even there is a move to have some computer games included in the Olympics. I think some people want that. Sport, now this is my favorite. Can you tell me the picture? What sport is that?
Right?
Rugby, yeah, cool. Do you play? Is there rugby in Kazakhstan?
No.
Yes, there is. One of my friends, his wife, my friend is from Wales, his wife is Kazakh, she plays for the Kazakhstan national team. Yeah, there's a ladies' national team, and there is a men's national team. Probably in Almaty, probably. But, So if you play sport, it can demonstrate that you have excellent team working skills. It can also demonstrate organization and time management, adaptability within the game. So if you play football, the game lasts 90 minutes. At half-time, the score may be 2-0 to the other team. At full-time, the score may be 3-2 to your team because you adapted your game. You changed your game to win. In addition, if you go from 2-0 down to 3-2 up, shows your adaptability, also shows your resilience, also shows your determination. So these are key words: adaptability, resilience, determination. I write those words for you.